disgusting, disturbing, and so sweet. Hello, folks. Welcome back to 2023 NFL Power Rankings. We'll be doing the teams 14-1, so let's get into it. At number 14, we're going to have the Saints. The Saints are now second in their division. They're at 500 right now, and they beat a Colts team that's pretty decently. I don't think there's really anything that spectacular about them or that game. I just do think that at the current time in the season, they've kind of edged themselves into the top playoff-looking teams. They still have a pretty decent chance of winning their own division, so I think they're fitting for at least now. We'll see how it goes forward. At number 13, down one spot, we're going to have the Falcons. Now, they had a loss, but they are still leading their division. And I've been kind of leaning into if you're leading your division, you're going to be in the power rankings, at least somewhere on them. So they're going to keep the number 13 spot solely for leading the division. Make sure you're tackling that like button. At number 12, down 4 spots, we have the Cleveland Browns. They just lost to a Seahawks team that's proving to be pretty darn good this year. Week before, they beat up on the 49ers, and wouldn't you know it, because of that, the Seahawks are leading their division. So I'm not going to give the Browns too much of a hard time for losing to the Seahawks. They did stay in that game. Problem is they let the Seahawks get that early lead, and then they never had a chance to recover from it. So good job overall to the Browns. I think the defense is still looking good. And P.J. Walker was looking okay, I guess. Honestly, I think he looks better than Deshaun. Low bar to clear, but it's true. At number 11, up 2 spots, I have the Seahawks. Maybe 11's too low for them. I definitely wanted them on the list. Not only are they winning their division, but they are proving to be pretty darn good, getting good wins when they need to, hanging in there. Like I just said beforehand, they got the early win against the Cleveland Browns, and they didn't let go of it. They could have played a little better. I honestly think that they're going to wild card in. I do think the 49ers will still have the division, but for right now, leading your division, Seahawks. Good job, good job. At number 10, up 1 spot, I do have my Cincinnati Bengals. I think this is the first time that they actually do deserve a spot on the list. Maybe 10's too high still. But after some early injury for Joe Burrow and just looking lackluster, the Bengals are back. There's no doubt about that. We are back. We are back in it. I think we can take the division even. And if not, we're definitely wild carding. So happy days. Number 10, Bengals. Don't forget to grab yourself a fresh subscription to TSST. At number 9, staying in the same spots, gonna be them boys. I still think they're fraudulent, but they're still getting the wins. And they beat the hell out of the Rams. And the Rams were one of those teams that were starting to look like they might be something. And then the boys came in and spanked them. Dak had almost double the overall yards that Stafford had. They commanded possession of the time. The Cowboys only needed 2 punts to the Rams' 5, and they had 9 players that got receptions on 11 different players targeted on the Cowboys. And Cooper Rush even got himself a 3-yard pass out. Yep, the boys looked pretty darn good, so they're going to have to stay in the top 10 on this. At number 8, down 5 spots, the 49ers. Previously in the number 1 spot for me, and then 3 weeks in a row. Not doing good. Losing a whole bunch to the North Division as well. Now, I'm happy about this, even though I've been pretty high in the 49ers, but, you know, you can't just keep getting beat down like that and keep your spot, so they're going to drop down several spots. At number 7, also down 5 spots, I'm going to have the Chiefs. Oh my God, you guys lost to the Broncos. What the hell? Disgusting, disturbing, and so sweet. Yeah, suck it, Chiefs. Down 5, number 7. You're still in the top 10. You're still a good team. I would shake it off. Shake it off. Ooh. That's right. Moving up 4 spots at number 6, we're going to have the Buffalo Bills. They got the win over the Bucs, but honestly, they should have had a more commanding lead. Watching that game, it seems like they took their foot off the gas after halftime when they had a nice lead, and they didn't do anything to make sure that they maintained it. They didn't try that hard to score, and they didn't manage the clock very well either. It seemed like they were just playing around. So that needs to get fixed. I'm actually very concerned about the Buffalo Bills for their clock management skills, and the way that they're getting these wins/losses is rather concerning. The Bills did manage to have 1.5 yards overall per play, and they had 4 minutes more with the ball. But honestly, again, they could have had that be like 8 minutes more with the ball. And if they had done that, it wouldn't have come down to that final Hail Mary potential. I mean, a Hail Mary's a Hail Mary for a reason, but they would have had a commanding lead if they just managed the clock better. But either way, moving up 4 spots, number 6, the Bills. At number 5, we're going to have staying the same, the Ravens. Thorn in my ass. I can't wait until I can put the Bengals ahead of them. This was way too close of a game against the Cardinals. The Ravens are a significantly better team than the Cardinals, though the Cardinals have proven to be hanging in there with the best of them on certain games. They're still a bad team. So I would be a little concerned after that one, though the Ravens they've been having tight games this year. I mean, they're getting them out. They're getting the wins. It's working. They are a good team, but they're going to need to get some more commanding leads before confidence can fully go up on them, I'll tell you that much. The Cardinals had more passing yards, longer time of possession, and got 2 more sacks over the Ravens than they had. But the Ravens did take advantage of 2 interceptions that the Cardinals decided to put up, and that's what really helped keep them in. So they're leading the division. They'll be number 5. Up 2 spots at number 4, we're going to have the Jaguars. Yeah, they got to beat the Steelers. Always good in my heart when you do something like that. So thank you, Jags. A 6-2 record, tied for the number 2 spot in the entire NFL. So a few teams have 6-2, and they absolutely dominated. They got almost 100 yards more in passing, 36 more yards rushing, 1.7 per play more, and they had the ball for 9 more minutes than the Steelers. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so Jaguars did a great job beating up on a subpar Steelers team. So they're going to be at number 4. Number 3, after a nice lead over the Raiders, we're going to have the Lions. Back in the spots where they belong after they devastated me by losing to the Ravens. They're back in it. And now with Cousins going down, unfortunately for him, the Lions are taking their division. So I don't see them going anywhere in my power rankings. They will be keeping it. Up 2 spots, I'm going to have the Dolphins. Yeah, the Pats, not a good team this year. Sorry, Buffalo. I don't know how you managed to lose to them. Maybe don't do that. I'll tell you what. The Dolphins, they didn't. They spanked the Patriots. 141 yards for Mac versus 312 for Tua. Enough said. That's how that game went. Had an absolute commanding lead over the Patriots. I don't think anyone's surprised by it, so we'll just leave it there for now. The Fins at number 2. At number 1, staying the same, the Eagles, 7-1, the best record in the NFL. Washpaw is always kind of an issue for the Eagles. It's one of those nice divisional games. You can never count them out. I mean, you've seen the Broncos and Chiefs play. Sure, they had the 16 wins before this last loss. However, those games are always pretty close. And it was no question that the Chiefs were a significantly better team. So it's kind of one of those situations here. So Washington's always going to give them a hard time, but the Eagles pulled it off. They got the win. They have only lost 1 game so far. They're going to keep doing this. They are a great team. They were in the Super Bowl last year, and there's a really good chance we're going to see them in the Super Bowl this year. I'd be shocked if we didn't see them in the championship game at least. Overall stats, Washpaw did kind of play an overall better game, but they just didn't get it done. So the Eagles keep the number 1 spot with this one. Good job. Good job, Eagles. All right, folks, thanks for joining me for this week's Power Rankings, Week 9. Leave a comment. Tell me what your favorite kind of tree is. I don't care. Tell me anything you want. And until next time, have yourself a good day. There's a car going slowly by my house, and it's making the dogs excited. And I forgot to close that door. That sucks. Oh well. I got my glasses on, bitch.